everyone, this is Solomon of Solomon and Demons, and today we're going to be talking about EMG pickups. Now, I'm making this video because I have seen a trend from a lot of musicians. I will say musicians because the story that I'm going to tell in a couple minutes is going to be about musicians, not just about guitar players. A trend that a lot of musicians really are disgusting, really are disliking EMG pickups. For some reason, what it became a standard in the majority of the electric guitars that are focused for rock and metal had become something that nobody wanted on their guitar. Now, in my experience, actually the last experience that I had that somebody really impressed me with a comment that told me about EMG pickups was a couple of months ago. I was playing on a rehearsal with this tribute band that I was on, and I was playing not this guitar, I was playing actually my Kramer Assault Plus that is loaded with a set of EMG 81 and 85 pickups. And when I was in the rehearsal studio, the drummer saw my guitar and he asked me, "Hey man, what pickups do you have in the guitar, you know?" And I told him these are EMGs, you know. And as soon as I said EMGs, the guy saw me with a face that he was making conclusions that my tongue was gonna suck. Immediately in the studio, he was making conclusions that that guitar doesn't gonna work. You know, like that guitar, you know, because the pickups, it doesn't gonna work. So this is the thing, you know, I've been a guitar player for over 15 years, maybe more. You know, I'm getting older and every time I lose the count of the years. And when I start playing guitar, everything that I wanted to have on my guitar was EMG pickups. I wanted to have a set of either EMG pickups or either Seymour Duncan pickups. I extremely wanted to have what James Hetfield and Zakk Wylde had on their guitars back then, and actually still now, because that's what they are still playing in most of their models, right? Same thing with Kirk Hammett. This is all the way back in the early 2000s. And before I continue with my story, I think that we gotta speak first a little bit of the history of where EMG pickups come from. So going back to a drummer, let's talk a little bit about the owner, the founder of EMG pickups and how this company started, and then we will keep talking about thoughts and why I really dislike how the community of the guitar world had become around EMG pickups in general. So the story of EMG pickups go all the way back to the early 1960s. A young drummer, Rob Turner, that was actually only 11 years old when he started winding coils in his father's company and developed this passion for music and electronics, importing radio equipment from Japan in the mid-60s. And then he saw this opportunity of incorporate microphones built in preamps on the guitar pickup for a good reason. He saw that nothing had being actually done in the guitar world after the introduction of the humbucker, so why not innovate incorporating these electronics into pickups? It wasn't until 1969 that the real business began and he started tweaking these pickups, right? And until 1974 he worked in his father's garage developing this new kind of technology. Then the original business was licensed under the name of Dirty Works Studios in April of 1976. So the first models that they introduced were the EMG H and EMG HA, followed by the active humbucker, the EMG 50A. The name was changed to Overland, spelled Overland in some sources, and by 1978, however, everyone was calling these pickups EMG pickups. So Dirty Works Studios decided to change their name to the EMG company. EMG, that was an acronym of electromagnetic generator, was a name that was more catchy with the young crowd and the guitar players that the 80s were bringing. In 1981, the EMG pickups became a standard equipment on the Steinberger basses and guitars, and according to Hav Kortner and Nate Steinberger,
EMG pickups originally had a widespread success in Europe. As Steinberger guitars became more popular among in American metal and rock musicians, EMG pickups also became more popular. And that was the explosion of EMG in the 80s. And the rest is history. So many bands had used EMG pickups in the past. So many companies have used EMG pickups from the early 80s, 90s, and 2000s. EMG pickups became a standard equipment in a lot of models of guitars. Examples are BC Rich, ESP, Schecter, Korg, Gibson, Dean, like I said, Steinberger, Ibanez, Jackson guitars. So many brands had used EMG because people were asking for them, because these were the sound that guitar players were looking for, right? For over the years, this became a standard. And they made a lot of models, not just active, not just passive. It is almost 40 years since the breakup of EMG pickups as a standard pickup. Same thing with endorsements. EMG have endorsed a lot of artists over the years, including bass players and guitar players. So yeah, EMG pickups became a standard starting the 80s. And this is something that we gotta remember before I continue giving my explanation about what's happening to EMG pickups.
Okay, guys, so that was a little resume of how actually EMG started. Like I said, after the 81, the rest was history because EMG became so big, and then later on when Metallica put their EMG pickups on their guitars in the late 80s, early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, and everyone wanted to have EMG pickups. And EMG didn't only produce active pickups, they also made passive pickups. But the most trending pickups that EMG always produced were the active pickups. These were, like I said, used in very famous albums, like the albums from Ozzy Osbourne that Zakk Wylde used to play. I mean, there is so many bands that use EMG pickups in their albums that it will take me hours to just say all the bands that have used EMGs. So why the hate? I mean, there is so many music that we hear these days that use EMGs. So many metal albums that we want to resemble, that are our base to make our music, that are our inspiration. And at the same time, it's so much hate. And I think this is a miscommunication. I think that this is because, and I think that this is miscommunication. I think this is because the trending stopped, and but the most important thing I think is that because we don't open our ears, because we base conclusions of what other people said. EMGs always had some good as well. If you base all your thoughts or your opinions on what you hear on the internet, or what you hear on random videos of random guitar players that said, oh no, those pickups sound, because they are showing off their guitars with their new Fishman pickups and they just want more views on that. That's not how it works. EMGs are great. They always have been high quality. They always have been good pickups. Also, they still have a lot of different models of EMG pickups. My favorite set of EMGs might not be active. Actually, it is the set of pickups of Marty Freeman that is based on the Seymour Duncan JB and Jazz. They really make it better. I still want to have a set of those pickups. I used to have those pickups on my Hammer Archtop. Unfortunately, I had to trade that guitar a couple of years ago for my LTD Elite, one of my LTD Elites, not this one, the other one that I have. And the intro that I play in this video was played with this guitar that is loaded with a EMG 5766. Now these are supposed to be a more like a PAF tone, but I don't think that they sound like a PAF tone, but they are active and I really like them because they are fucking aggressive. And if this is what EMG thinks that it's supposed to be a PAF tone when there is about the haptic pickups, I mean, they are making a really great pickups over here, even if they are not PAF at all. But that doesn't mean that they sound bad. That doesn't mean that I do dislike them. These pickups are great. I love them. Actually, I'm recording the new album of Solomon Demons, mostly with this guitar for the riffs, for everything that I play with chords. And it doesn't let me down. EMGs sound great. It is 2024 and I'm making my new album with a guitar that is loaded with EMG pickups because I like them. And yeah, don't let people to drive you to conclusions just because they think something. I mean, if you think that way, it's fine. But open your ears, listen, and then make your own conclusions. This was Solomon of Solomonic Demons. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please share, like, and subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.